You unlock your front door after a few hours away, step inside, and almost immediately step into a massive soaking wet puddle on the floor. You look around. The water bowl isn't tipped over. The air conditioning is running, and the house is perfectly cool. So you grab a towel, wipe it up, and assume your dog was just feeling a little warm. Or maybe they were just panting heavily at the window. You think it's just a harmless physical quirk. But what if I told you that puddle of drool has absolutely nothing to do with the temperature in your house? What if I told you that by simply wiping it up and going about your day, you are completely ignoring the physical aftermath of a severe, hours-long panic attack? Millions of well-meaning dog owners mistake this specific type of hypersalivation for heat exhaustion. And by misreading this biological signal, they are leaving their dogs trapped in a cycle of silent psychological torment every single time they leave the house. Stay with me until the very end of this video. We are going to decode exactly how to tell the difference between a dog that is just physically hot and a dog whose nervous system is collapsing from severe separation anxiety. And when we reach our final point, you will discover the heartbreaking reality of what your dog actually experiences the second your front door closes. Welcome to Canine Cognition Lab. If you are ready to truly understand the silent language of your dog's nervous system, hit subscribe right now. Let's get into it. 1. You walk into your living room and find a massive pool of drool on the floor. You check the thermostat. It is perfectly comfortable in the house. Your first instinct is to assume your dog was just playing too hard, looking out the window. Or maybe they just have a quirky habit of drooling when they sleep. You grab a paper towel, wipe it up, and completely dismiss it. You think it is just a physical reaction to the environment. But dogs do not sweat through their skin like we do. They regulate their body temperature primarily through panting and salivation. However, when the temperature in your home is perfectly cool, that puddle is not a cooling mechanism. In veterinary medicine, this is known as hypersalivation. It is an involuntary response triggered by the autonomic nervous system when a dog is flooded with adrenaline and cortisol. That puddle on your floor is not from the heat. It is the physical manifestation of an existential panic attack. Your dog was literally leaking stress hormone responses because their brain believed they were in mortal danger while you were gone. 2. Because you have seen your dog pant and drool heavily after a long walk on a hot summer day, you naturally apply that same logic to what happens inside your house. You assume that if they are drooling, they just need some water and rest. But the difference between heat exhaustion and severe separation anxiety is a matter of neurological life and death, and you are missing the visual cues. If your dog is suffering from heat exhaustion, their body language will show severe lethargy. They will be lying flat, unable to stand, and their gums might turn a dark, brick-red color. But a dog suffering from separation anxiety is the exact opposite. If you were to set up a hidden camera, you would not see a tired hot dog. You would see dilated pupils. You would see frantic, obsessive pacing back and forth across the same stretch of floor. You would see an animal whose nervous system is trapped in a continuous fight-or-flight loop. By confusing panic for heat, you are treating a psychological crisis with a bowl of ice water, leaving their actual suffering completely unaddressed. 3. You find the puddle of drool. But this time, it is right next to a torn-up window blind, a destroyed door frame, or your favorite pair of chewed-up shoes. Instantly, you feel a surge of anger. You look at the mess. You look at the drool, and you think, they were mad that I left them behind. They destroyed my house out of spite, and they drooled because they were chewing on something they shouldn't have. You are applying a complex human emotion to a canine brain, and it is completely wrong. Canine cognitive scientists have proven time and time again that dogs do not possess the capacity for spite or revenge. Separation anxiety is not a behavioral problem where your dog is acting out. It is a clinical panic disorder. When they tear apart the window blinds or claw at the door frame, they are not trying to punish you. They are desperately trying to dig their way out of a barrier to find you. The drool happens because their heart rate has skyrocketed in their frantic attempt to escape. When you come home and yell at them for the destruction, You are punishing an animal for having a panic attack. 4. You think the panic starts the exact second you lock the door. So, to make up for leaving, you spend 5 minutes before you go petting them, hugging them, and saying a long, apologetic goodbye. You think you are reassuring them. But in reality, the neurological storm inside your dog's brain started 20 minutes ago. Dogs are absolute masters of pattern recognition. The moment you put on your work shoes, grab your keys, or even reach for your coat, their cortisol levels spike. By giving them a big emotional goodbye, you are not calming them down. You are actually validating their fear. You are telling their nervous system, yes, something major and stressful is about to happen. You are turning your departure into a massive, anxiety-inducing event. The puddle of drool you find hours later is just the physical end result of a panic cycle that you unknowingly amplified before you even stepped outside. 5. You wipe up the drool, maybe sigh in frustration, and think, they will calm down eventually. You assume the anxiety is just a temporary burst of emotion that fades after an hour of you being gone. But you are completely ignoring the severe physical danger of prolonged panic. When a dog is trapped in a state of severe separation anxiety, the hypersalivation doesn't just stop after 15 minutes. It can continue for 4, 6, or even 8 straight hours while you are at work. This constant, heavy drooling, combined with frantic pacing and rapid panting, leads to massive fluid loss. What starts as a psychological panic attack rapidly turns into severe clinical dehydration. If you just clean up the mess and ignore the root cause, their psychological pain is literally transforming into a life-threatening physical condition. 6. We have talked about the science, the signs, and the physical dangers. But to truly understand why your dog is leaving pools of drool on your floor, you have to look at the world through their eyes the exact moment that door clicks shut. You know you are just going to work. You know you will be back at 5 p.m. But your dog does not own a watch, and they do not understand the concept of a human schedule. To a dog with severe separation anxiety, when you disappear behind that door, you haven't just left the house. You have vanished from their universe. They do not know when you are coming back, or if you are ever coming back. That puddle on your cold floor is not a mess for you to clean up. It is the silent, heartbreaking evidence of an animal who spent hours believing they had lost the only thing in the entire world that mattered to them: you. They were fighting for their life, entirely alone. Your dog is not trying to be bad. They are not acting out of spite, and they are not just feeling hot. They are terrified, and they are begging for your help in the only physical language their body possesses. If this video changed the way you look at separation anxiety, please share it with another dog owner. So many dogs are suffering in silence, and their owners deserve to know the truth before it is too late. Drop a comment below and tell me, has your dog ever struggled with being left alone? And what did you do to help them feel safe? Don't forget to subscribe to Canine Cognition Lab. We are here every week, helping you decode the science and the soul of the animal that loves you most. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.